Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing some Mono Black Midrange for best of one. And what I will say about this deck is that it's actually lacking a card that I really want to add to it, but unfortunately I've run out of mythics, and that is the Black Cavalier of Night. So this is going to be the one notable card that is missing that absolutely should be in the deck, at least as a 2 of, preferably a 3 of, I think, going down, something like Murder, maybe one Massacre Girl, something like that. But that's something right off the bat I want to make perfectly, abundantly clear. This card should be in the deck. It isn't. I don't have any mythics. So, with that in mind, we're going to be playing some Mono Black Midrange, which is all about eking out loads and loads of value. A little bit out of sacrifice as well as swamp value. So I'm going to be running a lot of my favourite cards in Mono Black that just have some decent value attached to them. So the main ones are going to be Dread Presence, which is a 4-mana 3/3. It says whenever a swamp enters the battlefield under your control, you get to choose to either draw a card and lose a life. So maintaining card advantage, pretty important in this deck, honestly. We want to find all of our removal and keep adding creatures to the board. Alternatively, it is a removal source for small creatures as well. There's a lot of Field of the Dead going around, so being able to hit the 2 damage to any of the zombies and gaining 2 life is pretty good. So you kill one zombie and then basically fog another by using this card, and then block another as well, since it is 3/3, decently statted. We also have Clackbridge Troll, which is a card that I really like. I want to make this work. I think maybe a deck something along this line is what we're looking for. 5 mana for an 8/8 with Trample and Haste. However, the downside is when it enters the battlefield, target opponent creates 3/0/1 goat creature tokens. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If a player does, you tap this 8/8, and we instead gain 3 life and draw a card. Again, eking out card advantage as we go. So I wanted to actually reduce the amount of value that Clackbridge Troll gives to our opponents, i.e. the 3 goat tokens and the option to tap down our troll. So we're going to be adding a few things in here that actually does take care of the goat tokens. We're running 2 copies of Legion's End, which can hit all 3 goat tokens in one go as well. We can also hit anything with converted mana cost 2 or less and steal it out of our opponent's hand. Also gives us a lot of information as well on the structure of their hand, which can be very, very important. We also have Cry the Carnarium in here again, because Field of the Dead is everywhere. It's basically all the decks that I see these days for some reason, so killing all of them, pretty good. Again, Massacre Girl combos quite well with Clackbridge Troll. Massacre Girl gives -1/-1 to each creature, and if another creature dies this turn, then you actually get another trigger on Massacre Girl. So we can actually put down the goat tokens, and whether they choose to sacrifice them or not, we get either 2 or 3 extra triggers on Massacre Girl. So this is going to be a pretty decent board wipe when you do find it. So I think it's actually going to be pretty decently statted. And as an 8/8 on the Clackbridge Troll, depending on how much our opponent has established the board, or however much we've done it as well, you might actually have a surviving Clackbridge Troll after all of that is said and done, with your opponent probably crying over their empty board. That's the hope anyway. We also have Liliana Dreadhorde General as well. We can make them sacrifice 2 creatures, i.e. some of those goat tokens perhaps. Alternatively, most of the time what you want to be doing is ticking up to make zombie tokens, which if they die, we actually get to draw a card, working our way all the way up to that -9, so that we can make them basically have 1 land, 1 creature, 1 walker, and lose is basically the same thing. And then we've got the colourless version of Liliana, Eugene the Ineffable. He is uneffable, apparently. 6 mana for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Colourless spells cost 2 less to cast. Completely irrelevant. The +1, though, is one of the reasons why we're running this. We get to exile the top card of our library face down when we get to look at it, create a 2/2 colourless spirit creature token, and whenever that leaves the battlefield, put it into your hand. So it's card draw as well as protection, as well as a nice little bit of a beatdown finisher as well. We also have the -3 there to destroy target permanent that's 1 or more colours, which should hopefully hit essentially everything. Just can't hit opposing Eugenes and things of that nature. But we've got lots of removal to hopefully take care of the rest of that stuff there. Araya is in here as well. This is one of the cards that I saw that made me want to try out Mono Black Midrange. 3 black mana for a 2/3. When Araya or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. But the reason we're running this is the ability to sacrifice black creatures to draw cards. We're going to be comboing that off with Dreadhorde Invasion, which is a card that I've notoriously had a lot of bad luck with. This ends up killing me a lot as much as it does end up helping me, so not sure if I should be running this card just on how unlucky I end up being with it, but this actually loses 1 life and amasses 1, so it's kind of like a bad Bitter Blossom. And if you have a zombie with power 6 or greater, which is only going to be achieved via the Dreadhorde Invasion going off for 6 turns in a row, we're not really going to be interested in that too much though. But the idea is when this black creature enters the battlefield, it's going to trigger Araya, who's going to drain our opponent. And then we can even block with that 1/1, sack it to Araya to draw a card, and then when Dreadhorde Invasion triggers on the next turn, it amasses, we lose 1 life, but a black creature enters, so we gain 1 life and lose 1 life. So we're not actually losing anything on the Dreadhorde Invasion token from that point forward, as long as Araya is in play alongside it. So we're going to be trying that one out a little bit. 4 copies of Midnight Reaper, because it's just an absolutely powerhouse of a value card. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, deals 1 damage to you and you draw a card. So, you know, keeping that card advantage going, keeping our hand filled is the idea. We got Knight of the Ebon Legions for a little bit of early game aggro. I'm not entirely sold on this card. I don't know what I'd replace it with though. Probably go down to 3 of these for an extra Cavalier of Night, as I mentioned. This probably needs to be in the deck all the way, because it just has so much synergy with our deck, you know? We get to reanimate a creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, which is a lot of our powerhouse creatures. We can even get some Knight of the Ebon Legions round, but I imagine if you were to add this one in, you probably want to tweak the deck a little bit more as well, but yeah, basically, add this card because it's really good. And I really wish I had Mythics to play it, but I don't want to spend any more money on this game right now, so, you know, we're going to live without it. But yes, moving on. I don't think there's too much really to talk about. Murderous Rider kills Planeswalkers and creatures, very important. You can also turn it into a 2/3 creature as well, and when it dies, it goes to the bottom of our library. You don't really have any ways to shuffle our deck, so once it's gone, upsettingly enough, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? And then 2 copies of Duress as well, just to take care of those non-creature matchups. Only running 2 copies, because you really do not want to have this against an aggro deck that's not running any non-creature spells. So, you know, just on the odd times that this is actually a good card, it's very nice to have in your opener, but not a requirement. But yeah, that's essentially the deck. Hope you guys enjoy this one. If you do, make sure to hit that like button. But without further ado, let's get into the games and test out the deck. Okay, we're in, and we got double Dreadhorde Invasion with an Araya that could actually sack that token for some value. Yeah, I'm gonna take this hand. Needs a little bit of removal, no doubt, but if we're not up against a creature-based matchup, then this hand's fine. Let's see what they got. Dwarven Mine. They call it a mine. Well, I'm gonna get the Dreadhorde Invasion going. Might not be necessarily a good thing with all of the burn that they're going to be running, but if we can get this amassing to at least 6 power, then we'll be in a reasonable spot. Really would love a land, but I'll just double Dreadhorde Invasion and see if we can get this token to carry us to victory. If they kill it, then Araya can probably get us some draining going and things like that. It's going to be nice. Pretty soon I'll have to Duress as well. So we get the token up to a 3/3, and we did get our Swamp as well, which is quite nice. I'm going to go Duress, force them to use removal if they have it. Spark Harvest, destroy a creature or a Planeswalker. And then they can also steal my token as well. There's a lot of stuff that it can do. I'm going to get rid of the Chandra though, I think. Chandra that much of a threat? Probably want this instead. Yeah, they can just pay 1 on the Chandra token to kill stuff. I don't really want them doing that. Alright. Let's do that. Get him for free. Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff over there. That's for sure. So they can Chandra, steal my dude. And then hit me for a lot. Wow, they're just passing. Why are they just passing? Of that, I am not sure. Alright, well. Get in for 5, I guess. No reason not to. I guess no, there's no reason to even play a Raya down, necessarily. Let's get in for 5. We're losing 2 a turn, our opponent's losing 5 a turn. We've got a Raya draining. And if they kill this, then we get ourselves the opportunity to do some extra drains as well by sacking the token that comes in. But this is going to be lifelinking now, so if they do steal it, then we don't have to worry about that. We do need to worry about them, I guess, stealing and then sacrificing. Or snacrificing as it may end up being. So, hits for 7. It's a lot of damage, but if they don't kill the token, we're gaining 7. And bankrupting blood. Okay. Alright. Yeah, that could be pretty grim, honestly. Let's just get down another Araya. We really need that life gain. So let's just rebuild from what they've done. We're up to 8. Another Dwarven Mine makes them a dwarf. Cute little token right there. I like it. And where do we go from here? Maybe we just play down the Murderous Rider as it is for the lifelink. It might actually not be the worst thing in the world. Midnight Reaper's also an option as well. But at low life total, I'm not sure I want to be taking extra damage from my creatures dying.
Hey, don't start any fires without me.
Alright, so Chandra coming in. She can actually mine us and steal my creatures again. But just going to go for the loyalty counter.
Help.
And see what they can do from here. I really need some life gain. Spark Harvest on my Araya. Okay. Yeah, it looks like Dreadhorde Invasion's going to kill me. So I don't play it very often, because it seems to always kill me. And I never understand why it hates me so. So I need to find 1 point of damage in order to kill Chandra. That's just not possible with this hand, unfortunately. So I might be forced into taking 2 there and just risking it, really. Kill Chandra. I'm taking 2 from Chandra probably anyway if I plan on swinging. Which I don't actually think I do. I think I wait until I've got 6 power and start gaining life from my token. There's just too much haste shenanigans that I might have to worry about on my opponent's side. I really want a swamp off the top for Dread Presence, though. That'll probably put me out of range of dying, one would hope. But yeah, we're at a virtual 2, so if they can find a way to deal 2 damage to us, which another Chandra would definitely do, then we'd be in trouble. Got 5/6 Menace. And they're going to sacrifice some lands to draw some action. Alright, so now we have our 6/6. Took us a long time to get there, but we did finally get there. And where do we want to go from there? I mean, we're going to be swinging in and gaining 6 life up to 8. And then we've got to play a blocker, probably Murderous Rider. So Power 6 or greater gives it lifelink. We're not going to be able to stop the 5/6 with 1 blocker, but we can stop everything else for the most part, I would imagine, and gain some life from the block as well. So, opponent with... what you going to play? Can you kill me? That's the question. I'm gaining 8 next turn, unless you can sacrifice something that blocks the Dreadhorde token. It's definitely an option. Dead to 3 damage worth of burn. Also definitely possible. Double shock. There's also an Eldraine Adamant card that deals 4, I think, something like that. Dreadhorde Butcher. Alright, we're at 1. Okay, but we can actually play Dread Presence here. play a swamp and gain a little bit of life. Let's deal 2 damage. I don't think it really matters which one we deal it to, so let's just get the Dreadhorde Butcher out of the way. It's the scariest one, right? And yeah, just gaining 8 here is enough, going up to 10 with extra blockers, and every land is also a good draw from there here on out, which is pretty cool. Alright, I was a bit close. I didn't really like my creatures being stolen. It's kind of the downside of Dreadhorde Invasion, but I was trying to leverage it with Araya for having a repeatable card draw. As long as you've got a 1/1 in play, you can just sacrifice it and gain 1 whenever it enters or anything like that. So, yeah, we're just trying to card advantage with the Dreadhorde Invasion, less than actually using it for the beatdown. It didn't end up being that way. Ended up being our alternative win condition, I guess. It's not bad, you know. Unintended victory, why not? Okay, we're in, and we're on the draw once again. I think this hand's fine. It doesn't really do anything until turn 3, but being on the draw with a duress, I think we can slow our opponent down sufficiently to make this hand reasonable. And going to be more green decks. It's always the green decks. I think green is actually like the most popular at the moment. So we got Rosethorn Halberd, and yeah, it just looks like mono green Stompy, I guess. Attach it to a non-human. Alright, so everything that's coming out of that deck is going to be non-human, apparently. We should, in theory, see that be the case. Alright, Pelt Collector triggers, and we get a Dread Presence, which isn't too bad, actually. I guess we're going with Araya into either Dread Presence or Midnight Reaper, depending on how badly we're getting beaten down next turn, which looks to be pretty bad. So, yeah, let's play Araya down. Drains allows me to block any of the X2s as well, if I should choose to do so. Try to dodge something that could actually pump the Pelt Collector. Looks like they got it anyway. Giant Growth. Alright, so there's literally nothing we could have blocked there that would have helped. So, pure damage reduction. I think we're just getting smashed out of this game, though. There's really nothing we can play. We're just dead to everything, unfortunately. So I can play Midnight Reaper and Knight of the Ebon Legion. And we're going to take 2 from just losing our creatures. Bark-Eyed Troll pumps the Pelt Collector. And yeah, that's just too much. That is way too much. We can trade here. Jump here. Go to 2, lose 2 on the draw, and yeah, too slow. Hoping to slow them down with that duress, but it was the wrong matchup. Womp womp. Okay, we're in, and we got a turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4 play with a little bit of removal, so yeah, nice little curve. I like it. Let's keep. I like being on the play. So Dreadhorde Invasion is going to be making a 1/1, or adding 1 counter to our army token. Oh god, it's the Footlight Fiends. Oh boy. The idea behind Dreadhorde Invasion is we can actually use Araya to sacrifice that creature. We never actually grow a Dreadhorde Invasion token until we want to, but every time it enters, it does drain our opponent and draws us a card, which is pretty nice. I imagine I actually want to kill the Dreadhorde Butcher with a Murderous Rider, though. Though I can actually play the Araya and have a blocker. If they have any removal, then we're taking more damage overall. Like, it's currently going to be costing us 4 life if I kill it right now, and it's going to cost us 5 next turn. Not sure if we can afford to take 5 necessarily. I think I have to kill it now. We'll do it. I don't know if it... You probably want to do it on our turn, just in case Spectacle is a thing. No doubt they've got some light up the stages. And they want to hit our face, which is good for us. It means they need to answer this Dreadhorde token. Otherwise I'm going to block that Footlight Fiend. Like my life depends on it. Another Murderous Rider. Okay, well, just going to play an Araya down. Drain our opponent, and Yeah, pass the turn. I think I'm losing this 2-2 anyway, though. But I'm going to have to make them use it. If they play, like, Gutter Bones, yeah, or another Footlight Fiend, then they have the Sacrifice. But it makes us a 1-1, which re-drains off a Raya. So this basically all works out for us. So, yeah, get rid of our 2-2. See what they can do with the extra mana. They could pay the full 3 to get Gutter Bones out the graveyard. Somehow I suspect that's not what they're going to do, though. A Legion Warboss. Alright. Okay, well, we chomp. And Dreadhorde Invasion triggers. And triggers again. I think we're going to go with the Dread Presence here, because we actually have some really good value on our Swamp. And I think because we're not afraid of Warboss with the amount of blockers we've got, we're going to get rid of the Priest of Forgotten Gods, which is going to kill our hopes and dreams. And from here, I'm going to pass, use Araya to sacrifice the Dreadhorde token. Or whatever they decide to remove. Can this sacrifice itself? Another black creature now. Shame. I guess that makes sense as a flavor thing, because she's all about being widowed, I guess, and moving on. So she wouldn't end herself, she'd just end whoever she was married to, I guess. Morning shifts seamlessly to celebration as she chooses her next suitor. You see? Method to their flavor madness. Alright, they've got to attack. So, you know, we're going to block. Get rid of the token, and they end the turn. I'm going to get rid of this Dreadhorde token, which draws me a card. Another Dread Presence. Love a land, actually. A land would be nice. Hey, look at that. Alright, so we get another Dread Presence down, which drains our opponent. We play a land, and then we get to start machine gunning down all of our opponent's stuff. Let's get rid of Legion Warboss and Priest of the Forgotten Gods, and then swing for a metric ton. Pretty good. Pretty good. That's what we were trying to do. I'd love a little bit of a Clackbridge Troll action. We haven't seen it so far, and it's probably my favourite card from this deck. Just, I don't know. I like that kind of card. But maybe we'll get to see it in the next game. Let's go. Okay, well, we're in, and the dream is coming true. We've got all the trolls we could ever ask for, but with the amount of mana we've got and the slow roll of our turn, I can't justify this hand, so we're going to throw it back. And this one's okay. We've got 2 Knight of the Ebon Legions for a little bit of early action. I'm going to get rid of the uncastable card here. No reason having a Liliana in our hand if we've got 2 mana. I'm sure we'll find another one just fine. Foulmire Knight. Okay, so Mardu Knights possibly. Let's get down a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Not sure if I want to block this Foulmire Knight, but I don't see too much value in keeping it around if I can't attack him with it anyway. They get rid of... I guess it's just another Knight. I kind of like these 2 value creatures. They seem to be pretty good at stopping what my opponent's doing. And they're holding back, presumably to block, but that's what I'm doing, opponent. I'm holding back to block. So, Playcrafter. Awkward. I wish they would have saved that for one more turn so we could play the Midnight Reaper, but... You know, beggars can't be choosers. Let's get one down right now, shall we? So now if any of our non-token creatures die, we actually get to draw a card. Lose 1 life, but draw a card nonetheless. And there's Murderous Rider. So we get our redraw. Very good. Ooh, another Dread Presence. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to play Midnight Reaper and a land here. And kind of tireless tracker these Dread Presences out. I want to have guaranteed value off of these, so I'm going to play the Midnight Reaper first. If they remove it, we get guaranteed value. If they don't, then we get to play Dread Presence into our swamp, which is pretty cool. Ordner of Midnight for their Fenlurker. Alright, well, I'm going to get rid of the swamp. There are plenty more swamps in the deck. Not so much Dread Presences, though. I think I'll trade. I think I'm fine with that. So So we get to draw a card, and it increases our odds of finding that swamp which we're looking for. So now we get to go Dread Presence, and we get to kill something here. There's a possibility that I should go for the draw and lose here. And the reason for that is it could actually increase the odds of finding the swamp for the Dread Presence. We're only taking... we're taking a little bit here. I think I'm going to kill the Fen Lurker. This can actually get a little bit bigger. And we've got a murder available to us as well. They've got two... Ooh, an Oathsworn Knight. So yeah, that definitely needs murdering specifically. So no blocks there. Ooh, okay. Why do we want to go with this then? Because I do want to murder the Oathsworn Knight. So this thing actually prevents damage that's dealt to it and then just removes a 1/1 counter. So we have to, if we're going to kill this with damage, have to kill it 4 times over essentially. But luckily for us, we do have a murder available to us, so it's not the end of the world. Alternatively, I could play Dread Presence and then hit it twice, and it goes down to a 2/2. It's also forced to attack, which means it then runs right into our 3/3 Dread Presences. And we gain a little bit of life as well. So I'm actually, you know what, I'm kind of sold on that idea. Play a Swamp. Gain 4 life and kill this thing. I get to hold my murder for something that's potentially more important and harder to kill. And yeah, let's pass the turn. If it wasn't forced to attack, then I might murder it instead. But yeah, I'm just not... I'm not confident they're going to draw anything good. And here they come. So, trade off there. Obviously, not going to trade off a Foul Mire Knight. That seems very bad for us. And now we get a Clackbridge Troll. So, it makes 3 goat tokens for them, and they get to choose to sacrifice. If they do, it taps my troll, but I gain 3 life and draw a card, so the value train goes on. If I draw a swamp, then I can just start machine gunning down their stuff. So they've really got to think about how they want to go about doing this. And yep, we got a swamp. Alright, so no attacks just yet, and we're going to go swamp and start pinging some stuff off again. We'll kill this Foul Mire Knight, and we'll kill this Order of Midnight, so that they can't actually deal any damage to us whatsoever. And pretty soon, they sacrifice their entire board. We get to choose what dies specifically with our murder, as well as our triggers, so... Awesome! Awesome! Troll kind of... We played Troll like we wanted to. But I guess it was the reason why we won. You know, I think that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back for our opponent. You know, an 8/8 trample, running out of things to sacrifice to it, or snacrifice, as the troll would say. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Let's go for another game, I reckon. Okay, on the draw, with a pretty expensive hand, though we do have a turn 1, turn 2, and potentially turn 3 play on the Cry the Carnarium. Yeah, I guess we want this hand. Ideally, all I really want to see is lands, all the way up until Liliana. I reckon this hand can pretty much keep itself afloat. And if we go turn 5 and they let us draw a card into our turn 6 Liliana, that's going to be pretty sweet as well. Yeah, let's keep this. On the draw, I like it. And that's the first land of hopefully many. Let's go for the Knight of the Ebon Legion. I think it's a really nice curve. We go Dreadhorde Invasion on 2, and then on 3, because we probably won't want to Cry the Carnarium, we can activate the Knight of the Ebon Legion instead. It's going to be a Field of the Dead deck, so I'm happy to have this around. We also have Legion's Ends in the deck as well. To take care of that, but mostly it's here for like getting rid of the goat tokens so that I can always attack in for 8 with haste, which is obviously very good. So let's just get that token going and hit them for 1. What's the removal for this deck? I mean, they've got Yarrocks, which are death touching, so you know, we do end up trading off a Dreadhorde token that way. Maybe it's just green-black. I'm doubtful of that. I reckon it is probably Sultai. Beanstalk Giant. Okay. We're going to need a Murderer or a Murderous Rider for that. That's for sure. And... do I want to... I might want to Duress. What's the odds of them having, like, Nissa or something horrible like that? Next turn, we could also just... Yeah, we're taking our turn off to Knight anyway. I think maybe I want to just take a look at our opponent's hand. Ritual of Soot is definitely something that I want out of my opponent's hand, and it looks like green-black, actually. Interesting. So get rid of that. Swing for 1. Not a crazy amount of damage for sure, but it is what it is. They've got a tapped black land there, so we're not going to be seeing a Raya this turn. Yeah. Which means we got all the time in the world to pump up our stuff. There's Beanstalk Giants, Fertile Footsteps, and it is Sultai. And we're hitting our land drops like a beast. Loving all of that. So let's get in for a lot. In for 6. And we've actually got the setup now. If we're dealing direct damage to our opponent, we can actually just put the counter on the Knight of the Ebon Legion with no issues now. So next turn's going to be Clackbridge Troll. Castle Lochthwain. Okay. Yeah, Clackbridge Troll gaining some life and dealing with the Beanstalk Giant to a certain degree. And then Liliana's going to be sacrificing with everything they've got left. So let's get that troll down. They get 3 goats, which no doubt they're going to sacrifice one. Yeah, we draw a land, gain some life. And yeah, I think we just pass the turn here. So we can Cry of the Carnarium to get rid of the 2 goat tokens, potentially. They're going to have Cavalier and Beanstalk Giant, though, I think. Which is awkward, to say the least. So maybe we actually just tick up with Liliana instead of trying to sacrifice stuff. There's a Raya. Okay. And a Cavalier of Thorns. Some more Field of the Deads. And I think we're seeing, yeah, Fabled Passage. And Risen Reef. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be 7, yeah. So now they get double Field of the Dead tokens. Ooh, black creatures with Araya. That's cute. That is pretty cute. Opponent oopses because they've run out of basics. Oh, man. Alright. Massacre Girl. That's a thing, alright. So, if I go to combat, they sacrifice a goat token. I'm wondering if I could kill the Beanstalk Giant. In fact, if I can kill everything here. If I kill everything, they don't really get much good back with the Cavalier trigger. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I do need the extra goat token. But I do want the life gain as well. I think I'll get down Liliana and just start ticking up, and then we'll go for like a Massacre Girl. That way we get loads of card draw.
Warrior Queen Necromancer.
Alright. Opponent sacrifices.
Rise.
And we gain 3 and draw a card. Oh, we don't. Wow, okay. Well, gonna pass then. I'm gonna offer up any trades, most likely, because the plan is just to Massacre Girl and then maybe even minus Liliana. We'll see how it actually lines up in the end. Another Cavalier. Alright, this could actually roll over some pretty bad stuff for us. Let's see what it rolled over. Nope, nothing. Everything's fine. Everything's A-okay. Get a little bit of drain. Breeding Pool makes another 2-2, which gets us a bit of drain. But Massacre Girl's looking pretty tasty. Another Liliana. Alright, so, yeah, let's get that Massacre Girl going. Ta-ra! I guess maybe I should have attacked first so I could get the Clackbridge Troll, but they don't seem interested in cracking their stuff anyway, so... Ow. Ow. Trigger, 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 trigger. Everything dies. All the triggers. So Cavalier gets to do its thing. Could maybe get another Cavalier back. I'm fine with that. We got Cry for Field of the Deads and whatnot. So I don't think we're really too fussed. We've got Liliana minuses as well on Beanstalk Giants and things like that. So if they replay those, we're not too fussed again. Getting back Field of the Dead and Araya, putting those on top. Araya first, apparently. Okay. Okay, let's get our triggers. We're going to be drawing a lot of cards, so we'll be drawing a lot of answers to what our opponent's planning on doing here. And I think we're in a good position now. We might even have ourselves a Liliana ult if we play our cards right. Because Liliana's going up to 9 next turn. And then from there we're going to Cry the Carnarium so they don't really have anything available to hurt Liliana. Yarok. Okay. Again though, shouldn't matter too much, right? Murderous Rider. So how do we want to do this? Could play an Araya of our own, so it doesn't die to the Cry. Cry's not looking too good either, though. I guess we want a Murderous Rider Yarok for less triggers. Not that I think it really matters, but I don't think anything matters. Let's go up with Liliana. Play Castle Lochthwain. And I guess we play a Raya of our own just to gain the life back. They can't kill Liliana, we ult. They're left with 1 land, and they can't come back from that. So killing Sultai Field of Dead as well. Not too bad. I mean, they were going to gain 2 tokens. They were going to lose them to the ult anyway, and then we'll just replay a Liliana. It was going to be basically a massacre all around, so pretty happy with that one. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I definitely think that Cavalier of Night is a card that you do want in this deck. Swap it out for at least the murders, and I'm not sure what else you swap it out for, but Cavalier of Night is definitely a missing piece that I did feel during these games. Would love that that lifelink on the big body, as well as being able to pull back all of our 3-drops. As you can maybe tell, we were a little bit heavy on the 3-drops. This isn't actually a 3-drop creature, and it never goes into your graveyard either, so maybe you want to go down to 3 Murderous Riders, up for an additional Cavalier of Night, but unfortunately I just don't have any, and I've also run out of mythic wildcards as well. Throne of Eldraine is very mythic heavy, as it turns out, so, you know, I got a little bit too ahead of myself, it seems, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one anyway. Make sure to hit that like button if you did, as well as subscribe for some more content like this in the future. We'll be back, hopefully tomorrow, with some more Magic Arena action, so stay tuned for that. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.